All right, what's going on, guys? How you doing? Joe here on this video in this special masterclass. Got a bunch of you live right now watching on Zoom. I'm going to be teaching, I was thinking about this, if I had to start all over again from scratch and I had to do a deal in 30 days, what would I do? And this is exactly what I'm going to do, what I would do. And I'm going to show you in this class kind of that process. Now, some of you are in this position right now. Some of you are like, your back's against the wall and you're in a spot where it's make it or break it. It's do or die. You've got to do a deal now and you got to make some money fast, right? Well, I think there's no better, faster, easier way to make money quickly in real estate than by flipping land, vacant land. And I'm talking about wholesaling land. A lot of you watching me right now have seen me talk about this a long time. But I'm going to be talking about how to flip and wholesale vacant land with just a phone and maybe a subscription to FreedomSoft, which I'm going to be talking through how I do this. But here's the bottom line. If the number one rule in real estate is not location, location, location. It's make offers, make offers, make offers. That's it. So if you want to do a deal this month, you need to make offers. And in fact, I'm going to challenge you. You may not like this. There's not an easy button to push. I'm going to challenge you to make 100 offers this month in the next 30 days from when you're watching this. And I can almost virtually guarantee that you will do a deal if you make 100 offers. Yes, I'm a FreedomSoft fanboy. In fact, you get FreedomSoft right now at freedomsoftjoe.com. Go there. It's the tool that I use every single day. I use it for all my coaching clients. I get them set up. For my students, I teach them how to do it. You're going to need a CRM to manage your leads. There is no perfect CRM out there, but FreedomSoft is pretty dang close. And if you want my custom signature edition of FreedomSoft with all my customizations and everything, go right now to freedomsoftjoe.com. Now, one more thing too, I'm going to be showing you what I want to do, what I would do in 30 days. And you're going to need my free Simple Land Kit that you can get right now if you go to simplelandkit.com. And on here, you're going to see my offer software and my offer calculator and my scripts. I'm going to be showing you what I actually say to realtors and land owners when I'm trying to do deals. So go to simplelandkit.com, completely free. Costs you $0, and if you're not happy with it, I'll refund your money. FreedomSoft Joe runs from $197 to $297 a month. Worth every penny. You could save money by doing it somewhere else for cheaper, but you get what you pay for. If you want to do deals and take this business seriously, sign up for FreedomSoft right now. All right, so what would I do? First thing I would do is I would find a good market where there's a lot of land activity. How do you do that? Well, let me share my screen with you here. I'm going to hop right into the right screen. Am I here? Okay, good. Let me move this around a little bit. Make sure you can see me and hear me just fine. Okay. Oh, here we go. Boom. I want to find a market where there is a lot of activity. And how do you do that? Well, one of the first places I like to go is Zillow. Actually, let's go to LandWatch. Landwatch.com. And I'm going to just click search. And it takes me to the entire United States. And I like to flip cheap land because there's more of it and it's easier to buy, it's easier to sell cheap land. So I'm going to look for anything under $150,000. Actually, let's do anything under $100. This isn't an exact science. I'm just looking for cheap land, and I'm going to scroll down here, and I'm going to click solds. Now, LandWatch is part of the land.com family of websites. It's the #1 place that people go to sell vacant land. Land.com, Lands of America, LandWatch.com, etc. Now, when I say show me all of the properties that are sold and active or available, that does not mean every property that's listed or every property that is sold. This is only pulling from properties that are listed on the land.com family of websites. Make sense? So when I say sold, it doesn't mean sold from county records. Under 100 grand, and the most popular state is Texas. Interesting, right? Florida's #2, California, North Carolina, Arkansas, Arizona. So yeah, that's it. Now, if you only want to do recreational land, you might want to do, let's say, 2 to 40 acres, let's say. So cheap, larger recreational land. #1 state is Texas and California. Notice Florida is not on this list anymore. Why is that? Because most of the land that's being bought and sold in Florida is small little infill quarter-acre lots. Now, it doesn't mean that's a bad thing. In fact, in my example here, I want to go into Florida. I'm just saying if you want to avoid the smaller infill lots, then you can do that. But here's the thing. I want to go where the money is. I want to go where the demand is. Maybe it's Texas, and I like Texas. One of the big drawbacks of Texas, though, is it's a non-disclosure state. So it's really hard to get comps in Texas. But there is a lot of activity there. And there's also a lot of activity because it's the largest state in the country next to Alaska. People in Texas like to think that it's the largest state, but it's actually not. Alaska is bigger. Sorry, and it doesn't look bigger there, but trust me, it is. Okay, so I'm going to just remove the acreage. So now I'm looking at under 100 grand availables and solds, and Florida's right there. Okay, so let's click on Florida. And if I scroll down some more, guess what you see? You see the most popular counties right here. And if I click see more, all right, these are all the counties ranked by numbers here. Now, as I'm looking for the most popular areas, I want you to avoid, generally speaking, the most competitive areas, right? Lee County, Charlotte County, Citrus, Putnam. These counties are very, very competitive. A lot of land investors are doing this. So I kind of like to look down a little bit more further down the list. And this county right here catches my attention, Brevard County. Where is that? I'll show you in a minute. But one of the things I want you to do is, let me just actually X out of this. Let me X out of Brevard and X out of Central East. All right. I want you to write down all of these counties. Write down the top, I don't know, Florida has 100 counties or something. Write down the top 30 or 40 counties and just go to a site like Zillow and see how many solds have happened there in the last 6 months. So if you go to Lee County, for example, Lee County, Florida, and I'm going to reset all my filters here so you kind of see what I'm doing. I'm looking at solds, I'm looking at land only, and I'm going to go to more, and I'm going to scroll down to sold in last 6 months. Sometimes you can't see the drop downs when I'm doing that. But, all right, so there's 5,300. That's a lot. That's a lot. The part of the problem, though, with this county is it really is competitive. And, yeah, so I don't recommend necessarily going into this. But write this down, 5,347. The next county we were looking at was, let's go back here, Charlotte County. All right. Charlotte County, Florida, right up above it, 3,300. Nice. Okay, that's a lot, but it's still a little too competitive. Let's look at Citrus County. Citrus County, Florida, almost 2,000. That is even north further still, isn't it? Yep. That's a good county, but, maybe a little too much in competition still. Putnam County is a great county. Let's look at that. Putnam County, Florida, 1,365. What I want you to do is you're writing down the numbers of all of these counties, and I want to dig deep into which counties have the most activity, have a lot of activity. But all right, so sometimes it's interesting is that this list, you might find a county down here that actually has more than some of the counties up here on top. Let's look at Marion County, Florida, 2021. All right, so this is an example here. Marion County actually has more than Putnam County, even though they're swapped here. This is a good, strong county, a lot of activity. I want to follow the money, right? I know if I get a deal under contract in Marion County, I'm probably going to sell it pretty quickly to a large pool of buyers. Sarasota, let's look down here at Brevard. I wanted to look at Brevard County because that kind of caught my eye. Brevard County, Florida. All right, look, 1,071. That's a good number. I kind of like Brevard maybe a little better for a couple reasons. Number one, it's not going to be the cheap properties that you get in Lee, Charlotte County, okay? Lee, Charlotte County, you're going to get a lot of properties that are selling for maybe $10,000 to $12,000, $15,000. In Brevard County, you're going to get, let me sort by newest, you're going to get properties that are selling for 36, 42, 51, 47, 35, 36. You see what I'm saying? So you're not going to get the real cheap ones that you'd get in Charlotte County. In fact, I just want to show you so you see what I'm talking about. Lee County, Florida, if I sort by low to high, look, you see a lot of these properties are selling for $6,500, $6,700, $70, So I want to be in areas where it's a little bit more competitive. And if I were to actually, let me zoom into an area, I'll show you what I mean, because this is important to understand. A lot of activity right here, my goodness, right? So let me just draw this area right here. All right, let's zoom in. That would be a good area to target, I would say, right? But then let me switch to for sales, and let me switch to pendings and days on Zillow any, and let me sort from low to high. Look, you're competing against properties that are currently selling for $14,000 and $15,000. So it's just not, I like to target deals where I'm making at least $10,000 profit. $10,000 profit. So that's why I like Brevard County a little better. For example, Brevard County. There are cheap properties there. Those properties don't have any road access, it looks like. But I'm going to show you in a minute how to find the best zip codes in these areas to target and how to avoid these cheaper areas down here. All right, so let's go back here to solds and sold in the last 6 months. These are prices that investors are buying these properties for. I'm not letting that intimidate me, but I do notice just already there's a lot fewer really cheap properties here that are selling. Okay, so now there's this thing called spray and pray marketing. Have you ever heard of spray and pray marketing? Let me open up my Freedom Soft here. I want to show you kind of how to drill down maybe into a little better area. Let me log into my Freedom Soft account here. Let's see if this works. This is giving me a little hard time. There it is. Okay, so this is one of my main Freedom Soft accounts. And there's a tool in here called Zip Finder. And one of the cool things about Zip Finder is you can spray and pray and target the whole county, but I want to be real specific, and I just want to go after a small area. So I'm going to go I want to find what are the best zip codes in Brevard County. So I'm going to search for Florida, and I'm going to do county, and I'm going to choose the county, Brevard. And I want to look in the last 180 days and click search. All right, there you go. It's a big county, but most of the properties are being sold in 32909 and 32908. Let me write that down here. I'm going to write that down. Oh, by the way, you want to see something cool? 32909. 32908. Check this out. I had a call this morning with one of my clients, Nabil, and it was so cool. He was at a workshop we did a few months ago. He bought a vacant lot for $35,000. And who wants to guess how much he just sold? Well, he's closing on Monday in about 5 days. Guess how much he sold it for? He bought it for $35,000, sold it for $75,000 on Facebook Marketplace. He actually started calling some realtors, and he had a hard time for whatever reason. The realtors are giving him a hard time about it. He's like, fine, I'll just list it on Facebook Marketplace. Sold it within 2 weeks. His gross profit is $40,000 on this deal. So, love it. You can do this. All right, so anyway, back here to Freedom Soft. These are the 2 best zip codes. Now, if I'm going to be wholesaling a deal here, I want to know who are the buyers that are buying the properties. And I don't want to spray and pray the whole marketing, all my marketing to the whole entire county. I just want to target the zip codes where the buyers are. And here we go. These are the buyers right there. I also want to know, well, who are the buyers that are buying the properties there? All you need to do is click Find Buyers right here. And we're going to go to Advanced Search. So we're looking for land. I want absentee owner. I'm not going to do remove duplicates. I want them all. And I want to see in the last 6 months. I don't care if it's a cash buyer or not. Usually they all are. We're going to look for all land. And I don't care about the acreage size. So I'm going to click Search. Hopefully this works. All right. It gave me here 506 different transactions in those 2 zip codes. So I'm going to select all pages here, and I'm going to add them to a lead list here. And we're not going to send them any mail, but I'm going to just say Brevard Buyers 1. And let's click New List. Brevard County, Florida, Recent Buyers Demo. And you can give it a workflow automation if you want, but all right. And then I don't need this available to anybody on my team because it's a demo. And I'm going to create a list now of who these buyers are. And it takes a minute to get added in here, but I want to show you something really cool. When they get in here, I want to know which buyers have bought the most properties. All right, cool. Which buyers have bought the most properties in those areas, and what kind of properties are they buying? Because again, when I get a deal under contract, those are the first people that I'm going to skip trace And I'm going to call them and say, hey, I see you bought a property here just recently. Are you looking to buy more? Because I've got one. Would you be interested? And I can see what they bought them for. So that's really important as we go through this. Let me refresh my screen here real quick. Yeah, they take just a minute to come in. All right, so let me, we'll look at that. We'll look at that here in just a minute here. That's the lead finder. So the buyers are being added to this list right now. But I can also get a list of the sellers. Let me go back here to return to search. I see some comments here. Oh, whoa, what's going on here? WBLLC. Sounds like a radio station. Finding someone to sell you something in Florida for under 13 grand is like hitting the lottery. It's very rare. Is it? Are you sure about that? Because check this out. I'm in Brevard County again. This is the last 6 months. 4,000, 4,000, 4,500, 5,200, 6,000, 6,000. Is it really rare? I tell you, it's rare to the people who don't make any offers. Somebody's buying these deals for that cheap, and these are on-market properties. How many people are buying these deals off-market? That's what I like to do. I like to target off-market properties. But we'll talk about that in a second, because I'm going to show you if I wanted to do a deal fast, what would I do? And we're still back into like, well, let's find the right markets. Let's find the right states. Let's find the right counties. Let's find the right zip codes. Then let's find who the buyers are. And let's go down deep into that. So let's see if the buyers have come in here yet. There they are. In fact, they're still coming in. There's 256. I think there was 500, wasn't there? All right. Yeah, there's 576. So we're still waiting on another 300 or so. Yes, off-market properties. Oh, yeah. But we're also going to target on-market properties. So bear with me here. Bear with me here. We're talking about the fastest way to a deal. So you can't, I mean, you can do direct mail, and I like direct mail, but if I had to do a deal in 30 days, it probably means I don't have a bunch of money. And so I'm going to have to do the cheapest type of marketing that I can do, right? All right. Excuse me. So we're back here to this. I'm going to choose those 2 zip codes again right here. This time I'm going to click Find Sellers. It's going to open a new screen. I want to choose All Land, Advanced Search here. So in those 2 zip codes, I want to see who are the landowners, and I'm going to select Remove Duplicate Owners. In other words, I don't want to download the landowners I don't want to download 20 records for somebody, for one person that owns 20 properties. I just want to download one, and it'll give me all of them in there. Out of zip code only, that means these are owners that own land that they don't live in the same zip code. So there's a bigger chance of them being more motivated because they're more distant and removed from the property, all right? Financial filters, I want somebody who has bought a property within the last over 10 years ago. So I'm going to say they had to bought it before September 1, 2014, and I include unknown. And I want to do lot size, okay? I'm going to do minimum 0.1 acres, maximum 5 acres, and I'm going to uncheck include unknown. And let's see in these 2 zip codes, how many owners do I have that don't live in that zip code that have owned it for over 10 years? I click search. Again, hopefully this works. There's 500, 1,000, 1,500. Again, because like I don't want to do spray and pray, and I don't want to target the whole county or the whole state. I want to target zip codes where the buyers are, where there is activity. Because I know if I get a deal under contract here, I'm going to sell it quickly with just a few phone calls. Look, there's 7,100. All right. Let's look at the buyers now. Let's refresh my screen. Oh, you know what? It might be that they already removed duplicates for me. That's why there's only 256 here. But these are buyers, right? These are recent buyers. And so let's look at one of these. This company, KA6 Investments, I know what happens. Okay, so there was 576 records, but they removed the duplicates. That's why we only had 256, because it brought these guys in as buyers. All right, so one of the cool things here, I'm going to go to this advanced filters. I'm looking at all Brevard County recent buyers. I'm going to click on advanced filters, and I'm going to go down all the way here. I know you can't see this drop down, but there is something down here called owned properties is greater than or equals to 5. So if I now click search, check this out. Hopefully this works. It's working. What it's doing is it's going to pull up all of those recent investor buyers that already own more than 5 properties already. So that tells me they're a more serious, active investor. And look, there's 90 records in here. 90 different buyers that own over 5 properties already that are actively currently buying in this zip code. So let's just click on the first one here. This is Cruz something, Seraphin. Cool. Let's look at owned properties. See those green little circles there? Right there. And so I can see here, oh, look, he's buying this one for 24.5, 19 grand, 23, 23, 15.9. So when I get a deal under contract, look, he owns these 4 right here. I can see he bought it for 24.19. So, you know what? If I brought him a deal and I was trying to sell it for maybe $24,000, do you think he might be interested in buying it? Hot diggity dog, yes. All right, so let me show you one more thing. I want to show you how to find these buyers because, you know, it'll be helpful if you called them and talked to them. Well, that's going to be really easy. All you're going to do is select all 256. Now, you could only, again, you could skip trace just the ones that have more than one property. So I could also go down to purchase properties, purchased more than 2 properties after 6 months ago. So you could say, all right, only give me people that have purchased more than 2 properties in the last 6 months. Let's try this search real quick. There's 95 buyers. All right, 95. Let's do who purchased more than 3. Again, these are vacant lot buyers. There's 63 buyers that have purchased more than 3 lots in the last 6 months. Do you think this would be a good list of buyers to contact when you get a deal under contract? Yes. And in fact, if you don't want to call them, you can send them a postcard. Let me show you my favorite postcard here that I like to send from inside of FreedomSoft. This thing is ninja crazy. It works so well. This postcard right here, now it's got merge fields, but it says, "Dear buyer's name, I need your help. I see you recently bought a property at address. It's near the one I own. I need to sell my property ASAP. I've had it listed for some time now and I can't wait any longer. I am desperate. The taxes are paid and the title is clear. I need this thing sold today. Please call me or text me at phone number. Thank you, name." Front of the postcard, "I desperately need to sell my property near the one you recently bought at address. Call me ASAP." This postcard works really, really well. So who do you send that to? You send it to these buyers here, 63. So if I wanted to, I could just click all 63, more actions, send direct mail right there. And just like that, I could send that postcard to all 63 of them and they get sent in the mail same or next business day. But, you know, you could also skip trace these guys. Now, some of them are LLCs, some of them aren't, but I could go right here to more actions, skip trace. And I could skip trace them and get their phone numbers and call them all from right inside of FreedomSoft. All right. Now, I want to get a deal under contract. So I know who the buyers are. I know where they're buying. I know what they're buying. Let's look at this guy right here. Holiday Builders, Inc. 4 owned properties. So they got some over there, but they just bought this one for 30 grand. 4 months ago, right here. Let's look at another one. SHCM, 32 grand, 35, 35, 35. Oh my gosh. And this is all since in the last 3 months. This stuff works, guys. Now, this is why, again, I want to go. This is why it's so important. You understand? Listen, you want to go into the markets where there's buyer activity. You want to go where there's buyers already buying deals. This guy has bought 5 different properties in the last 3 months. I know exactly what he's buying here. I can go in deep into one of them here if you want to look into it. That's the property right there. And you can, you know, look at the satellite image and dig deep into where it is, but that's it. You know, you can zoom in and look at these areas, but who's buying this stuff? Well, these guys. And it just gives me that much more confidence. I know if I get this deal under contract, I could get it under contract for 30 and sell it for 35 like that to this guy with a phone call or with a letter. Now, it's hard to skip trace an LLC, right? If not impossible. You could, there's different ways you could do that. But oh my goodness, I have their address right here. I could send them a simple postcard. "Help, I'm desperate. I need to sell my property now. Near the one you just recently bought. Call me. Help." Okay, so now we need to get a deal to sell to these guys, right? So how do you find them? Remember we looked in those 2 zip codes and I pulled 7,100 vacant landowners in those 2 zip codes. So I could select all of them, but actually I'm just going to select one page of 250. One thing too, I forgot, well, let me go back to search. Because I'm going to skip trace them, they can't be LLCs. So I'm going to do ownership type, individual owned, include, exclude corporates, exclude trusts, exclude banks. Now, normally when I'm sending direct mail, I don't care. I want to mail all of them. But when I'm skip tracing, I can only skip trace individuals, right? So I'm just excluding corporate owns here. And they've owned it for over 10 years. And let's try this search again. So I'm going to get less. Wow, I'm already getting more than I thought I would get. I mean, aren't you? I'm excited. Aren't you excited about this? Because here I am. I'm going into the areas that I know there are buyers hungry for deals. And I now have a list of 6,500 vacant land owners that aren't in an LLC. They've owned this land for over 10 years and they don't live in that zip code. This is a great list to target. All right, so I'm going to deselect them. I'm going to select just this page of 250, and I'm going to add it to a lead list. And let's call this Brevard. Start with a number, because reference numbers, if you're doing direct mail, it adds that number to the letter or the postcard. I'm going to add it to a new list. I'm going to call this Brevard County, Florida. I'm going to cold call this list, okay? And I'm going to call it Demo. And I'm going to give it to my workflow automation. Now, I have a workflow automation that you get in the Joe's Custom Signature edition of FreedomSoft, which is where? FreedomSoftJoe.com. All right. If you want my custom signature edition, which has my workflow automations, my customizations, my marketing pieces, my contracts, my checklist, my websites, my custom user-defined fields, marketing pieces, all of that stuff, you got to get FreedomSoftJoe.com. All right. Cool. We're on the same page. We're good. So I'm going to create a list with my custom workflow automation, and I just want to make sure none of my team has it, just me. All right, now the leads are all being added in here, and I want to cold call. I want to be able to cold call these leads, and so real quick, I'm going to just get a phone number. I'm going to get a virtual phone number for Brevard County, Florida. And so what's the area code in that area? I don't know. Let's look real quick here. Brevard County, Florida area codes. 321. All right, let's see if I can get a 321 phone number. I'm going to go to settings, phone, add number 321. All right, good. I'm going to stop my screen share for a minute because it's going to ask for my credit card number. But you know what? I'm going to use this number here, 321-475-7444. Now, by the way, if you are a FreedomSoft subscriber, you get one free phone number a month at the $197 a month level. At the $297 a month level, you get 3 phone numbers, and you get double the downloads. So at the $197 a month level, you get 3,000 downloads. At the $297, you get 6,000 downloads. You get 3 phone numbers, and the direct mail is. The postcards are like 10 cents cheaper. So if you're sending at least 1,000 postcards a month, which you should be sending 1,000 a week if you can, the savings more than makes up for itself, and you get more phone numbers that are included. Does that make sense? So, and again, you could go to PropStream, spend $97 a month. You could go to ListSource and buy lists or DataTree or Priced, which is $50 a month, and then you're paying 10 cents a record. You're going to be paying a lot more. Now, there are free services for lists like PropWire, which is good for houses. PropWire is not good for land. I'm a good friend of Jerry. I love Jerry. We just hung out together a week ago. But I've told him, I said, hey, listen, PropWire is awesome, but you need to work on land. And they are working on it. But I just wanted to let you know, you get what you pay for sometimes. So this is why I love FreedomSoft. The land lists are included, and you don't have to pay any extra for that, all right? So I'm going to buy this number that has a lot of 4s in it, 475-7444. And I'm going to put it on my credit card there. After you get your 3 free phone numbers, it's $5.95 per phone number per month after that. All right. And so this is my special number there. I'm going to copy that, and I'm just going to call this Brevard County, Florida cold calling number. And I'm going to, again, call this Demo. And I'm going to record just a quick voicemail. All right. Hey, this is Joe. Thank you for calling. If you've got a piece of land that you want to sell, please leave your name and number, and I will call you back right away and send you an offer. Thanks. So you can record or upload a custom message. When I'm sending a postcard that says call or text or 24-hour recorded voicemail, my voicemail is about 20 or 30 seconds long. Let me just make sure this worked. Hey, this is Joe. Thank you for calling. If you've got All right, sounded good. Save changes. I'm going to do one more thing here. I'm going to go to inbox, my leads inbox, and I'm going to create a new campaign where I can do these outbound dials from. I'm going to create a new campaign, called it Brevard County, Florida, cold calling demo. Campaign type, this is manual, targeting sellers. I'm going to choose that phone number that I just bought. I'm going to choose my awesome custom signature edition workflow of Joe's vacant land workflow automation. And I'm just going to make sure that only I have permissions to this campaign, create campaign. All right, so now when I make outbound calls, they're all going to be made from this campaign. So I've got, probably 80 different campaigns. This just keeps everything really neat and organized. All right, now let's go back to my list. Remember, I got that list right here of 250 people. So if I open this list up, I've got a bunch of people in here that are not LLCs. Now, some of them I'll be able to skip trace. Some of them I won't. Like this one has a weird name. This is just pulling it from county records. But yeah, this is pretty good, right? I've got people here who've got land and they've owned it. I click right here, own properties. I can see the other properties they own. I scroll down here and I can see that Reginald Windsor Allen, who lives in Grant, Florida, owns this property right here, 0.24 acres. I can click on this map. I can see the satellite view of it. I can zoom in. So when I'm talking to him, I can say, hey, I think you own a property at the corner of San Mateo and Sandia Road. Is that right? And as I'm talking to them, by the way, I'm going to ask them, do you own any other properties? And see what they say. But you can also click right here to see if they do own other properties. And I'm just going to talk to them and ask them about the property. Sometimes you can see the street view right here. Oh, nice. Look at that. Looks like a vacant lot to me, doesn't it? Okay, cool. Now I want to skip trace them. How do I do that, Joe? Very easy. I'm going to select all 250 right here. You know what? It's going to take me a little too long to do all 250, so I'm just going to select 20 to skip trace for right now. I'm going to go to More Actions. I'm going to go to Skip Trace Records. And I'm going to drag Owner of Record up here, mailing address, mailing city, mailing state, mailing zip, confirm skip trace 19. Next step, submit order. Okay, so this is going to take a little bit. It's, with only 19 leads, it'll just take 1 or 2 minutes. But it's going to now skip trace this and give me the names, give me the phone numbers and the emails of all of these, if it's available. Now, the skip tracing costs about 15 cents per record. You can get it cheaper somewhere else, but again, you get what you pay for. And the nice thing about just doing it in here is it's all done in one place. You don't have to worry about importing and exporting and mapping and merging fields and all of that. So those will all come in here in a minute. Let me just refresh the screen. All right. While that's coming in and skip tracing, I want to review my cold calling script. And if you want this, how do you get it? Glad you asked. Go to simplelandkit.com to get this exact cold calling script. Cool? All right. So it's very simple. Hey, I'm looking for owner name. Or you could do something like, hey, owner name. My name is Bill. I'm sorry for calling you out of the blue. However, I was calling about the 4-acre property near the one I believe you own in Brevard County. Or you could use this. Hey, I'm calling about that letter we sent you about your vacant lot in XYZ County. Did you get it? Now, don't use that if you didn't send them a letter, but I send thousands and thousands of letters and postcards every single month. And so many times I might have actually sent a letter to this guy. So sometimes you could just start with that. Hey, I'm calling about the letter or the postcard we sent you. If did you get it? Probably not. It's all right. I'm sure you get a lot of mail. Another thing that you can do, this is one of my new favorites. Oops. And I'll give credit where credit is due. There's a guy on YouTube called the Flip Man. What's his name? His first name? I want to say Tyler. Taylor. No, Ty. His name is Ty. Flip Man, go watch his YouTube channel. I don't know if this is his that he made up, but I saw him talk about it, and I like it a lot. Hey, Jim, you're going to hate me because this is a cold call about buying your 1/4-acre lot in Brevard County. Do you want to hang up now? Or can you give me 30 seconds and then decide? I love that a lot better because it's kind of throwing them off a little bit, right? It's like, what? Jim, you're going to hate me. This is a cold call. I'm calling about your 2.8-acre property near city. Do you want to just hang up? Or can I have 30 seconds? And then you can decide. And then you can hang up. Do you see how that just disarms them? It's like unexpected. It's a surprising response. So that's my new favorite. Shout out to Flipman Ty. All right. And then you just say, well, I'm looking to buy some land in the area and I'm calling to see if you had thought about selling it or if you'd be interested in entertaining an offer. Very simple. If they say, yeah, great. Do you mind if I ask you some questions? Good. Okay. It looks like it's 0.24 acres. Is that right? Good. Does it have road access? Good. Does it have utilities? No. Is there any building or structure on the property? What's the terrain like? Do you know if it's in a floodplain or a wetland? Good. Thanks. Do you have a price in mind of what you're looking to sell for? If we came up with an offer that works for you, how quickly would you be willing to close on the property? If they say, well, how much? You can say something like, well, my partner actually runs the numbers and the location of the property is a big factor. Have you tried to sell it before? Do you know of any other similar lots nearby and what they've sold for? Okay, great. Do you have a price in mind or a range or anything like that? I want to try to get the seller to give me a price. And many times they're just not going to know. So I'm going to show you in a little bit here what I would do while I actually have them on the phone. If they say no, I say, all right, well, do you have any other vacant land that you might be consider selling? If they say, yeah, maybe in the future. Oh, great. Do you have a time frame in mind? Who are you? Well, I'm a real estate investor. I'm looking to buy more land in the area. I buy them fast, and you don't have to pay any commissions or closing costs. Do you mind if I ask you some questions? That's how I answer, who are you? If they say, how did you get my number? I just say, I got it online, and I got nothing to sell. I'm just looking to buy some property. You wouldn't be interested in selling your lot, would you? That's all you have to say. Okay, so check out this script. Pretty cool. Let's go back here to see if the skip tracing worked. I'm going to refresh. Please work. No, it's still in progress. Good thing I didn't do 250. Sometimes the servers are slow. Sometimes usually it's faster than this. But while I should have skip traced a list before. And in fact, maybe I can just show you from an old campaign that I did, well, how the skip tracing works and how easy it is. Should we do that? Okay, so let me go to my list here and let me go to, here we go. Nope. Let me go to my campaigns. You know what? Hold on a second here. Sorry, let me go back to my lists. I need to select all lists. Now I'm going to search for cold. Oh, shoot. Okay. I'm just looking in the wrong places. Let me go to my campaigns, view all, cold. All right, here we go. This was Charlotte County, Florida. We actually got 400 leads from a cold calling campaign, and we got 2 deals out of it. We made 31 grand, and we could have done a lot more on that. But let's just view all. All right, so these were a bunch of leads that came in, and I want to do a cold calling campaign to them, right? So let's just say I'm going to select 20 of them, and just do a cold calling campaign. All I'm going to do is going to go to more actions, and then I'm going to click new click to call dialer. I'm going to give it a name, Brevard County, Florida cold calling campaign demo. All right. And I'm going to call them from the number. This is where you need to choose the campaign that you're calling them from so that the leads will stay in that campaign. I'm going to click next step. And you can say choose primary. I know this is really small, but you can remove duplicate numbers. You can remove numbers of the DNC. You can remove numbers with known litigator if you want. And you can send a follow-up message after calling if you want. And you could say, I'm going to put their first name, primary contact name. Just left you a voicemail, Joe. Include opt-out text, or I acknowledge that the message clearly identifies the sender. All right. And it's not going to send it every time, but just when you do this. Then I click complete. Now the broadcast has been created. This is my cold calling campaign. I have 21 numbers here. All I need to do is click this call button and it starts dialing. And so this was a guy here, Theodore. We have 2 different numbers from him for some reason. And I'm going to call him. I just click call right here. And let me actually click on this to see what it was a little bit that we were doing here. So we got some information. We sent him some offers. This was from a couple years ago. And I can see the offers that I sent him here. So the last offer we sent him was December of 23. We sent him an offer for 13 grand. All right. So I'm just going to, from here, I want to call Theodore. I just click right here. I click call. And it's dialing him right now. You can't hear it. All right, so normally I would just call him back again because I got the voicemail. I just call him again. And after calling him 2 or 3 times, I can click right here, send SMS, and it sends him this text that says, Theodore, just left you a voicemail, Joe. That's it. Then I go to the next one. Call, 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 call. I go all the way down. And so this isn't a triple dialer that dials 3 numbers at a time, but I would argue this is better because now this is quality over quantity. And so when they do answer, there's not this weird long, feels like 20-second pause in between hello to when they answer. Like, have you ever gotten a cold call? You know what I'm talking about? Somebody calls you and you say hello, and there's this long pause, and then they say, "Oh, hi, is this so-and-so?" I hate that. That's so bad, right? When you're cold calling through FreedomSoft, it's instant. So it's just like you're actually calling them. Hey, Jim, you probably hate me. This is a cold call. I'm calling about this 0.24 acre property you own here. And we talked, you probably don't remember, we talked a while ago, a year ago about it. Just wondering, do you still own it? Have you sold it yet? Boom. See what I'm doing there? All right, let's go. I just realized something too, that YouTube does not like it when I show people's phone numbers. So if this video is on YouTube and it's gotten shut down, it's because I'm showing phone numbers on here, so I have to be really careful. Let's go back to this skip tracing order here. Orders. Oh, it's complete. Here we go. So there were 3 leads without matches, 16 leads complete. Cool. And these are the proper. Now, if I clicked on it, you could see the phone numbers and the emails. But I don't want to do that right now because YouTube just doesn't like that. Hopefully this video is still up too. But I'm going to go here to my lists, Brevard County right here. I'm going to click View All. And one of the things I should have done is I should have moved the ones that were skip traced to a group here called Skip Trace. I'm going to pause my screen share for a minute. And let me just open one of them and let me try to... All right, I'm going to do a screenshot and then I'm going to blur out the phone numbers so you can see what it is. Okay, here, this is what I just did. So Reginald, I got 3 different phone numbers from him and 2 different emails. So what's the point of all this? I need to do a deal in 30 days. I need to send, my goal is now to send 5 offers a day. So I'm going to do... I'm going to give credit where credit is due here. Jerry Norton, again. He has this thing called 555, and I love this. Call 5 realtors, call 5 cold calling property owners, and do 5 follow-ups every day. And that might take a couple hours, but if you do that, you can talk to 5 different people, 5 new people, 10 new people and 5 follow-ups. You can find 5 offers to make out of that, okay? If you make 5 offers a day, that's 7. That's about 35 offers a week. Well, if you don't work Sundays, how's the numbers on this here? Let me see here. Because you don't want to work Sundays. If you make 5 offers times 6 days a week, that's 30 offers, okay, times 4. That's 120 offers in a month. I'm telling you, if you can make 100 offers in 1 month, you will do a deal. Actually, 5 times 5 is 25. 25 times 4 is 100 offers. There you go. All right. Now we're cooking math. There's only 2 kinds of people. There's only 3 kinds of people in the world. Those who can count and those who can't. So you're going to make 100 offers a month by just making 5 offers a day. And so to do that, how do you get to 5 offers? I want you to call 5 realtors, and I'm going to show you how to do that next. I want you to call 5, just skip trace and cold call until you talk to 5 people who own land and ask them, hey, do you want to sell a property? And then talk to them and ask them about it, okay? And then I want you to follow up with 5. We on the same page there? Okay. What do you say to realtors? Or let me show you, I want to kind of move on now. I showed you kind of how I like to, again, let me rewind kind of where we were. We want to find the hot markets. We find the best states. We find the best counties that aren't too competitive. We find the best zip codes in those counties. We find who the best buyers are. We know they're looking and what they're buying, and I know that they're paying between $30,000-$32,000 for these vacant lots here. Then I'm going to pull a list of people who own land already in those areas. They've owned it for over 10 years. It's not an LLC. They don't live in that area. I'm going to call them. I'm going to call as many as I can to talk to 5 people every day. And then I'm going to make an offer to everybody I talk to. I'm just going to make an offer. I'll try to make it verbally over the phone, or I'm going to look it up and then call them back and send them the offer in the physical mail. So I always, whenever I'm making an offer, I want to send it in the physical mail. Now let's move on to another step of like, okay, actually gives you the phone numbers of the realtors. Remember those 2 zip codes were 32909 was one of them. So I'm going to start with 32909. And then let's just look to see where was 39098. Because maybe it's the zip code right next to it. All right, so it's these two areas right here. So I could remove outline and I could just draw. Let me click draw. It's like this area are those two zip codes. And I'm looking at for sale. I want land only. And by the way, what do you say to realtors? I know because you're asking that right now and you're thinking it in your head and you're like, oh my gosh, this is going to be stressful and confusing. No, just go to simplelandkit.com and I'll show you my script that I have with realtors because it works really well. Okay, back here. All right, who are we going to call? There's 600 vacant land listings right now. Let's go here to filters. I don't want the real expensive ones, right? I just want everything under $100,000. There's 577. I'm going to scroll down here, land. Time on Redfin, more than 90 days. So these are properties that have been on the market over 3 months. There's 364. Oh, nice. Why haven't these sold yet? They're just overpriced. They're asking too much. That's why they haven't sold yet. And then I want to go down here and I might do price reduced more than 30 days ago. So they've reduced their price over a month ago and they still haven't sold it yet. Oh, now you should also, by the way, do it in the last 30 days. There's just not as many of them. There's 23. So do in the last 30 days and do more than 30 days. I wish there was one that just was like, has had their price reduced, period. But there's not. Does that make sense? But you think about this again. These are properties that have been on the market for over 3 months. They haven't sold yet, and they've reduced their price over a month ago, and it still hasn't sold yet. Click C81. Now you can sort this by newest. And so these are going to be the properties that just hit the 90-day mark. Why haven't they sold yet? Again, they're just overpriced. Let's look at this one right here as an example, the first one. This property is listed right now for $47,000. It's about 0.23 acres. Scroll down. There's the realtor, Justin Sands. But I don't have his phone number. So to get his phone number, you'd have to go Google him, which isn't a big deal. If I just go here and I Google Justin Sands, eXp Realty, usually within one of the first few pages, there you go. I have his cell phone. And you could call him right then and there from his cell phone. There's different websites that'll be here. There's his number right there. So a lot of times you can find the number just by Googling it. All right, now I'll show you in a minute what to say to him. But why hasn't this property sold yet? And this is important because when you're on the phone with these realtors and when you're on the phone with these homeowners, I want you to learn how to look the property up because many times they're not going to know what price they want to sell it for, or you need to ask them, why hasn't this property sold? It looks like a nice property. It looks like a great neighborhood. Why hasn't it sold yet? Well, I don't know. It's just overpriced. Well, you know, how, and again, I'm talking to the realtor here. How negotiable is the seller on their price? Well, I just don't know. I'm sure they've been getting some offers, right? No, you know, okay. Well, let me just look this up real quick. And I like to do this while I'm on the phone. So I got this property up. I'm going to click this map icon right here. And I'll click on nearby homes for sale. And it puts that property right in the center of my map. Now I'm going to go in here and I'm going to click on for sales, coming soon actives and pendings. I want home type land only. And I'm going to sort from low to high. Ah, look at this. Now I'm going to zoom out because I want more comps. My property's in the center of the map. I want to zoom out one more time. Now I got 42 comps. And remember, this guy wants to sell his property for 47. Why hasn't it sold yet? So when I'm talking to the agent, guess what I'm asking? I'm sure it's a nice property. Oh no, man, I'm looking here and they're asking 47. Is that right? Oh man, I see some properties here. One just went pending for 22. One was active for sale for 32. One just went under contract for 35. Here's another property that's bigger, currently for sale for 35,000. They're not in. You know, that's not going to work. Something in this price range, is it? You know, why would I want to pay them 47,000 for this one when I can buy this one right now for 32,000 on Dan Duran, just you know, 4 or 5 blocks away. Well, let's look here at solds real quick. And this is why I love Redfin, because you can quickly go in and switch between solds and for sales. I'm going to go back a whole year because I want as many cheap comps as I can. Mr. Realtor, oh, wow. I'm looking here. There's some properties in the area that just recently sold for $24,500, $27,000, $28,000, $28,000. Man, in the perfect world, I'm going to have to be around there, around 25 to 28 grand. That's probably not going to work, is it? Or when I'm talking to a seller on the phone, I can ask them questions. Like, because I just called them out of the blue. They don't know what their property's worth. And I'm going to tell them, well, I'm looking here and I can see some solds. And again, remember, I'm sorting it from low to high. There are properties right in the center of this map. These are really, really good comps, aren't they? Which is, again, another reason why I don't like going into Texas, because I can't do this in Texas. Now, those of you who are already doing land deals in Texas, you're like, yeah, Joe, keep on telling everybody don't do deals in Texas. All right, whatever. But now I got him on the phone with this seller. I'm like, hey, you know what? I'm looking right here in your neighborhood, and in the last year, there's been some properties that sold for $24,000, $27,000, $28,000, $28,000. Yeah, boy. In my own little perfect world, I would need to be somewhere around there. That probably wouldn't work for you, would it? I'm establishing kind of where they're at. And I would say something like, well, you know, I don't know. I need to look at the numbers here. But yeah, I don't know. Now, remember, if I bought it for 27 grand, do you remember that guy, that buyer that we looked at? Look, same zip code, guys. He's buying these things for 32, 35, 35. Do you think I could sell him a deal for 35 grand? Do you think when he goes and looks at it, he looks this property up, guess what? He's going to see that it's on the MLS for 47 grand, and I'm selling it to him for what? 35 grand, and then I'm buying it for 27 grand. What's my profit? It's 8 grand, $8,000 assignment fee, just like that, just making some phone calls. Do you see are you guys excited about this? Does this make sense to anybody? I'm just looking. I would be jumping around up and down if I was seeing this for the first time. I love this stuff. And I'll talk a little bit more about what I would say to the realtors. I'm going to show that in the script here. Yeah, this is what I need to be at. And in fact, I'm going to try to get less than this. But I know, look at some of these properties have been selling for 45, 44,000. I might be able to sell it, not to this guy, although, you know, I could just call him, sell it pretty quick for 35. I might be able to sell it for 45 if I put it back on the MLS. Because look, if I scroll down, and if I scroll down to like page 4, there's some properties here that sold for 54. Now, those are bigger ones. And there's some ones that, okay, let's go to page 2. There's a lot of properties here, man. Come on. 35 grand, 35. Let's go to page 3, 36, 38. Oh, so what if I just called these realtors up? I called, bought with Cheryl Smith Realty. There's her phone number right there. Cheryl, hey, my name is Joe. I see you just recently sold a property to somebody. I have another one just like it. Your client isn't looking for any more properties, are they? I can pay you 10% commissions or 5% commissions, you know, and see what they say. And you can sell it without even putting it on the MLS, just with some phone calls by calling the buyer's agents here. Do you see why, guys, you can do deals quickly with just a phone call? Now, whether you're using, maybe you use your cell phone, maybe you don't want to use FreedomSoft, but you can make the calls right from the computer or from your cell phone. Call these realtors up about these properties. The chances of this seller being a little bit more motivated to sell might be pretty good because, look, they've had it listed. I'm not sure what happened. Maybe they bought it in 2016 or something. I'm not sure when they bought it. But they listed it for 55 grand in June 14. They've dropped the price here and it's not sold yet. Maybe they're in a hurry, maybe not. But I'm going to talk about why I'm calling these realtors and why this is such a big deal, because I care more about the relationship with this realtor than I actually do about this deal. And I'm going to talk about what to say to this realtor right now, okay? Because I'm calling this realtor, I'm asking them about the actives, I'm asking them about the solds. And you see how easy it is to do this when you have Redfin? You can just swap between actives and for sales and pendings, you know, and say, well, why would I want to buy their property for 47 when I can buy this one right now for 32? And if you want more cheap comps, just zoom out. I can buy this one for 30, 22 right here, 31. Okay. Now, what do you say to these realtors? Glad you asked. Here is the script. By the way, I have a YouTube video. If you go to my YouTube channel and do a search for Joe McCall and do a search for the word realtors, I have a video where I actually called some realtors and I walked through this script. But this is kind of, well, this is my script here. Hey, my name is Joe. I'm a vacant. Oh, I wanted to show you something before I get to the script. Is that okay? Remember we were looking in this zip code, 32908 on Redfin Let's go to homes.com and let's do a search for 32908. Let's go to all filters. I want max 100 grand. I just don't want the real expensive properties. And I'm going to go down to days on market, more than 3 months. And sometimes you can see price reduced in here. Sometimes you can't. Price reduced. Do you see it anywhere? Oh, let me do land only right there, land. Yeah, I thought they used to have it. I think they took it away. So one of the reasons why I like Redfin, maybe I'm missing it, but I don't see an option for priced reduced. Ah, look at that. Oh, isn't that nice? They hide it under estimated payment. Doesn't make any sense. Price reduction, over 1 month. That's so stupid. They hide it so it's hard to find. All right, whatever. So over 1 month ago, there's 23 homes. Now, the cool thing is you can go through this now. Now, sometimes these sponsored, this is a sponsored listing because you see the guy's picture there. That doesn't mean necessarily, okay, it's sorted by recommended. Now I'm going to sort by newest. All right, here we go. If I click on this one, guess what you get? You get the realtor's email address and phone numbers. Sometimes the phone number shows up here. Sometimes it doesn't. Let's go to this one right here. Look, I love these ones because it's a cheesy street view photo and a stupid map and satellite imagery. This deal isn't going to sell. It's been on the market for a long time now, and there's a listing agents. Again, email over here, phone number right there. Is this the same guy? I think it is. Yeah, it is. Oh, look, he's got a bunch of them. Let's do this one. Ida Teak, phone number, email address. No pictures. They just dropped the price a while ago, but it still hasn't sold yet. It's been on the market 102 days. So anyway, and there's her phone number also right there. Sometimes there's two different phone numbers. This one and this one might be different. But this is why I like homes.com is you get their contact information. The drawback with homes.com is there's not an easy way to look at the comps for the property like I just showed you how to do in Redfin. So you might need to copy this address and look for the property in Redfin so you can find those comps easier. Does that make sense? All right, back to the script. I'm going to call these realtors up. And I want you to do 5 of these a day. I'm telling you guys, this is exactly what I would do if I needed to do a deal in 30 days. I would call 5 realtors and I would cold call 5 landowners in these top zip codes. And if I had to dial 100 numbers to get to 5 people, I would do it. All of these phone calls might take a couple hours a day, but this is how you do deals. And I'm telling you, you just get one deal. You know who these buyers are. You make some phone calls and send some yellow postcards, and you can get these buyers, get these deals flipped and assigned in less than 1 or 2 weeks. Is that cool or what? Okay, so here's our script when I'm talking to realtors. Hey, my name is Joe. I'm a vacant land investor. I see you have a property listed here at this address plus whatever. You don't have a couple minutes, do you? I'm not calling it a bad time, am I? I'd like to ask you some questions to see if this would be something I'd want to buy. By the way, I don't have an agent representing me yet. So if you can, maybe you can submit the offer to me and get both sides of the commission. That wouldn't work for you, would it? Okay, so I'm just telling them, hey, you can represent me. I don't have an agent, and you can get the commissions. Now, the technicalities of who pays what commission, I don't care, right? I just want to tell the realtor, listen, I want to make sure you get paid, and if the seller is not paying you any commissions, then I can pay you a commission. I just need to know we can work it out in the offer. I can work the numbers out. Does that make sense? Okay. So tell me about the property. What's going on? Looks like a nice property. I'm sure you've been getting a lot of calls on it, right? I know they probably haven't because they dropped the price over a month ago. It's been on the market for over 3 months. Why hasn't it sold yet? Is something wrong with it? Now, the cool thing I like doing this with land better than houses is I don't have to worry about the repairs and the estimate for repairs and what's going to be worth fixed up and all of that. So how long has it been on the market? I know because I can look at Redfin or homes.com and I can see it's been on the market for 104 days, but I want them to know. I want them to tell me. So they're not in a hurry to sell it, are they? Your client, they're not in a hurry to sell it. All right, so then, if it's land, I'm going to ask some questions. Like, tell me, does it have road access? Is it wetlands? What's the terrain like? Are the utilities there? Maybe you could ask something like, have they done a survey on it? Have they done a perk test? A perk test is like a soil test to see if it's good enough for septic systems, right? If it's houses, how much work does it need to get fixed up? Back on the market, what do you think it could sell for fixed up, etc.? Okay. Another great question is if I were to buy, if you were to help me to buy this property, if you were to help me buy this property and then resell it, what price would I need to sell it for to sell it quickly? Ooh, I love that question because I'm getting to the heart of the matter. Like, well, okay, if you want to represent me, I can buy it, but I'm going to need another realtor to turn around and sell it. So maybe you can list it for me too, and I'll pay you even more commission. But what price would I need to sell it for to sell it quickly? This is going to get the realtor thinking about, oh yeah, you know what? It's you're not going to be able to sell it for 47 grand because it's been listed for 47 grand for 4 months and it hasn't sold yet. Yeah, you're probably going to need to list it for 35 grand. Well, I need to make some profit. So yeah, I'm gonna have to, this probably isn't gonna work, but I'm gonna have to probably need to be in it at like 25 grand. All right, so anyway, do you think, so this 47,000, do you think this is a fair price for this crazy market? And is it fair for the amount of work that it needs, or if there's something wrong with it? You can always find something wrong with it. It doesn't have a survey yet, hasn't done a perk test, it's a part wetlands, the road isn't paved. The road is paved, it's in an HOA, it's not in an HOA. That's another really good question to ask here, by the way. The HOA and restrictions. Restrictions can be good, they cannot be good. I get it there. Restrictions. You know, if there's too many restrictions, I can't put a four-wheeler, I can't ride a four-wheeler, I can't park my RV, and et cetera, right? So I want to ask these questions because this helps me kind of bring the price down a little bit. Now, I already talked about that question, right? How negotiable is the seller on their price? I'm looking at some nearby active listings or sold listings. Is this right? I see one that's bigger for less. I see this one that's a little bigger. They're trying to sell it for $27,000. Is that right? What's going on here? What's the seller? I'm just curious. What are they going to do if they can't sell this property? How long do they have to wait? Have they received any other offers yet? How much? Sometimes the realtors aren't supposed to tell you, but sometimes they will. I might ask them, well, if they returned down or rejected any offers? What were some of the offers that they rejected? Sometimes the realtors will tell you that. Well, man, I don't know if I can get anywhere near that number. Looking at some, similar properties in the area, in a perfect world. I like that. This is, again, giving credit to where credit's due with Jerry Norton. He likes that phrase. In a perfect world, I would need to be at around blah, 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 blah. That probably wouldn't work, would it? Now, if I could get them something closer to their asking price, another way you could phrase this too, is I'm seeing there's a bunch of properties that are selling here for like $35,000. If I could, so I want to be at like 25. He says absolutely no. I said, well, I could offer a little more, maybe 35,000 if they would consider seller financing or payments over time. They wouldn't consider that, would they? So if I could get them something closer to their asking price, they wouldn't consider maybe selling it with seller financing. All right. Well, okay. Kind of got through the conversation. How about this? Let me sharpen my pencil. Let me look at some numbers here. Let me email you something back. Maybe I can email you some options. You don't have to write up a contract just yet, right? Just text the seller, call them, and ask them if this number would work. And if they like my number, then you can help write up the contract and we proceed from there. Cool? All right. But by the way, listen, if this deal doesn't work out, do you have any other off-market properties that I might be interested in? I will pay you 8 to 10% commissions. Oh, here we go. This is why we do cold calling to realtors. This is why we called realtors. I don't expect that client to drop their price from $47,000 to $25,000, which is probably where I would need to be at. Probably not going to happen. But you know what? By the way, it does. And it's going to happen 1 out of 100 times. So make 100 calls. Right? But here's what I do care about. I care about building a relationship with this realtor because next time, do you think they like listing these properties here? 30 grand. What do you think their commissions are on this thing? It used to tell you, I don't understand the rules now, but I don't know if it tells you what the commissions are or not. But if you look into it, sometimes it'll tell you the buyer's agent, the seller's agent commissions. Let's see if it does. By the way, too, I like to go look at property history because I can see what the previous owner bought it for sometimes. Oops. So I'm just looking to see, it depends on the market. Sometimes you see what the buyer's agent commissions are, sometimes you don't. But these agents are only making maybe $500 to $1,000 of commission on these deals, all right? They're stupid properties. They hate listing them. They get small pennies in commissions, and they sit on the market. They feel like they usually sit on the market for months and months and months. It's obnoxious. But now with my script, I'm telling them, hey, listen, if you can bring me one of these deals instead of just listing it, I'll pay cash. I can close in 30 days, and I'll pay 10% commissions. Now, if it's over 100 grand, I'll pay 8% commissions or something. But I pay really, really generous commissions. Why? Because I want these realtors to bring me their future properties. These are realtors that are willing to list vacant land, okay? Most realtors don't do any vacant land, which, by the way, let me tell you something. One of the great strategies you could do is go into these markets and call the top producing house agents. These are the agents that put a lot of money every month into ads and billboards and radio ads and TV ads or whatever. They pay for those expensive premium listings to become a premier agent in Zillow or whatnot. They get a lot of incoming leads from all their marketing. What do you think they do with all those vacant land leads? They ignore them. They throw them away. They're not going to list. Would they rather list a $500,000 house and make $15,000 in commissions or $30,000 in commissions wherever they're at? Or they rather list a $30,000 property and make $1,000 commission. Do you see what they do? They throw away these land leads, but they're doing so much marketing. What if you called these top producing agents and said, hey, what do you do with those vacant land listings that you just throw away? If you send them to me, I'll buy them. You don't have to list them, and I'll pay you 10% commissions. Can I send you my name and phone contact information? Cool, yeah. So now guess what? I get the email address of that agent. I send them my contact information for if you find a deal, and this is where the money is made right here in the follow-up. Now you've got 5 realtors a day, and you've got their phone numbers, their emails, and you send them an offer on this property, and you add them to your follow-up list, and you start following up with them every 2 to 3 or 4 weeks. Every 4 weeks minimum. Every 4 weeks you follow up with them. Hey, Jim, you probably don't remember me. I'm that guy looking for vacant land. Do you have anything? This is where the power of this is, right? 5 a day, 100 a month, all right? After 2 months, you've talked to 200 realtors. After 3 months, you've talked to 300 realtors. Every single month, you're sending an email, a text message saying, hey, how you doing? You probably don't remember me. I'm looking for land in Brevard County. Do you have anything? Oh my gosh. Boom, head explode. This is how you can do 3, 4, 5 deals a month without doing any direct mail. Talk to 5 realtors a day, cold call 5 sellers a day, and follow up with 5 old leads every day. You cannot not do deals by doing that. Do you see? Like, this is insane, but only a small percentage of you are actually even going to do it because you're afraid to pick up the phone. You treat this thing like a 500-pound cactus. It's not that hard, guys. You need to pretend, put this in your head, like you've got $1 million burning a hole in your pocket right now, and you're looking for deals. That's it. That's all you're doing. You're not selling anything. This isn't MLM. You're not trying to sell Amway or Essential Oils or whatever the prove it thing, like whatever the MLM thing is right now, right? You're just, hey, I'm looking for deals. Do you got anything? That's it. That's all you're doing. Tell me about the property. Can I ask you some questions? Why should I want to buy this property and not this other one that I can buy for 10 grand cheaper? Tell me about that. I'm looking for deals. Hey, if you get anything, I'd be glad to pay you some money. I'd be glad to pay you a bunch of money if you think of me and you call me next time you find one of these properties like this. And you don't want to list it. The guy just wants to sell it quick and get rid of it and be done with it. I can pay cash. I can close in a week, 2 weeks. I don't know. I can close quick. But Joe, I don't have the money. I can't close. That's why if you're one of my students, bring the deal to me and I will fund the deal for you. Or we have people inside the community, inside of my inner circle community, that will fund the deals for you. Don't worry about the money. I wish I could slap you. Don't worry about the money, guys. The money is there. You find a good deal. You can find guys like me, find people inside of our community that will fund the deal and partner with you on it all day long. On any day that ends in Y, you can find the money on a good deal like this. I'm telling you. All right, so back to the script. Hey, if this deal doesn't work out, do you have any other off-market properties that I might be interested in? Notice I said off-market. I don't want the realtor to give me a bunch of properties that are already listed on the market. Does that make sense? Oh, here we go, Jerry. Joe's bringing the heat. Come on, Jerry. What's up, brother? I like Jerry a lot. He was just in St. Louis, and we did a meetup together. Jerry, I don't know if you heard or if you're still even listening. You're probably not. But I was giving you a shout out earlier because I was using the 5-5-5 thing that you talked about. All right, cool. So, by the way, if you go to our YouTube, go to Jerry Norton's YouTube channel, you guys we did a video series a year ago, and it's one of his best performing videos. Oh, look, Jerry Norton Jamil's doing one right now, live agent outreach. This streamed an hour ago. And look, Jerry's the beast at this. He does this for houses, and so does Jamil. I'll be speaking with Jamil at an event in Dallas in a few weeks. But anyway, yeah, I mean, Jerry's the guy that's been doing this forever. But we did a video. If you go to Flipping Mastery playlists right here, we did a video series on land flipping masterclass, and I literally gave away everything in these 7 videos. So just go to Jerry's channel, look up this How to Flip Land Masterclass, and check it out. Okay, so back to this script. This is why it's so important. I don't care about this deal necessarily. I want to get on this person's radar so that next time they find an off-market property, there's almost zero resistance from realtors. They all of a sudden become super friendly and very helpful. And they're like, oh, yeah, let me tell you a little bit about, you know what? I just got off the phone with this other seller, and I know this other property. So one realtor, when I was doing this was crazy. This property, I was like, we were miles apart, right? And so I knew that wasn't going to be a deal. He was still willing to present my offer to the agent. And I told him, by the way, listen, they're probably going to reject my offer, but if you submit it anyway, it might actually bring them a little bit more down to earth, and they might even lower their price, which will help you then maybe find another buyer quicker when you lower your price. Does that make sense? All right, so then this same guy, this realtor I was talking to just a few months ago, said, listen, I got another property. It's listed right now. It was listed for $27,000. This is a small little vacant lot in a hot market. It was listed for $27,000. And he said, you know what? The owners, I think he was the listing agent or the buyer's agent. I don't remember. But the sellers had accepted an offer that was really low. It was listed for 27 grand. I forget what the offer was. And they went through a ton of hassle because there was a death in the family a long time ago. And so they had to get a bunch of documents signed. They actually had to fly to India to get a document signed from somebody and then fly back to get the documents to the title company so they could close. All right. Well, the buyer backed out because they got tired of waiting. This whole process took several months. The buyer backed out and he said to me, listen, I know those sellers and they're super motivated right now. They would sell this thing for $15,000. So it was listed for $27,000. He told me they would be willing to sell it for $15,000. That was still too much. So I said, well, I don't know if this is going to work. And I showed him my comps and he said, I know, but these people want to sell it quickly. And now I could have actually bought it for $17,000 if I was okay with just making a small little $4,000 or $5,000 assignment fee. But right now I'm at the place where I want I want minimum $10,000 profit. So I actually turned the deal away. But you could have had that deal if you're okay, if you're happy with just a quick, simple $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 assignment fee, which what kind of difference would $3,000 make in your life? I'm not making any income claims or guarantees here, right? But what I'm saying is these deals are out there. All you've got to do is pick up this silly little phone. You don't have to use FreedomSoft. There are so many deals out there right now, guys, and you just need to pick up the phone and call them. So back to my script, and then we're almost done. So, hey, if this deal doesn't work out, do you have any other off-market properties? You want to get their email, you want to send them your information, and you want to follow up every 3 to 4 weeks, asking them if they have any other off-market vacant land deals. And then your emails and your texts that you can do from FreedomSoft is going to be like, hey, Jim, insert merge field, their name, right? You probably don't remember me. We talked a month ago. I'm looking for off-market vacant land deals. I pay 10% commissions. Do you have anything? That's it. And you can split it up, do different language, different words. But that's it, man. You just, every 30 days, you send an email, you send a text. Hey, how you doing? You got any deals? I'm looking for something. You're going to get phone calls back. You're going to get, I'm telling you guys, if you want to do a deal in 30 days, just talk to 5 people. Maybe you don't want to do the cold calling directly to the landowners. Maybe that's a little too intimidating. So just call realtors. Call 5 a day. It's amazing when you use this script and you come at it with like, how can I make you more money, Mr. Realtor? How can I get this problem property off of your books? How can I, if you find another deal in the future, how can I help you make more money? And you come at it with that approach of like, I want to help you. The total conversation, the dynamic completely changes, and it becomes so much easier. So anyway, cool. If you want these scripts that I gave you, go to simplelandkit.com right now. And if you want to get FreedomSoft, which makes everything a whole lot easier when it comes to like finding the top zip codes, finding who the best buyers are, finding the names and phone numbers of the sellers, go to freedomsoftjoe.com, freedomsoftjoe.com. The more that I'm thinking about this, I'm thinking, dang, you know what? You know what would be fun? What if we did a real challenge, a real live challenge on how to do a deal in 30 days and actually do this stuff and have you do it along with me. Now, I don't know how that would work. Maybe it would be a challenge of like how to get a deal under contract in a week. Maybe that might be better. But yeah, I'm telling you, it's pretty, my mind's spinning. That would be cool. Wouldn't it be fun? Who would be interested in doing like a 5-day challenge on something like that? How to get a deal under contract for vacant land using these things I'm talking about. Now, you can send direct mail, which is awesome. I love direct mail. That's the main way I find my deals, because I don't like cold calling. But again, if my back was against a wall, this is exactly what I do. I had a student one time, this is way long ago, probably 12 years ago. And I was teaching a course on how to flip leases. It was called Quick Turn Leasing. Michael was his name. And he was homeless. And he actually heard my podcast. And I think he didn't, I don't remember how this worked out exactly, but he was homeless living out of a car. And he would go to the library. But he got my program. I think we were selling it for $97 or $297 or something. And he would go to the library to get on the computer to find the deals. And then he would go to the payphone and make phone calls from the payphone from the public library. And within 2 to 3 weeks, maybe 4 weeks, I don't remember the time frame exactly, he made his first $1,000. All he did was find tenants for rental properties. That's the way we were teaching it back then. And you need to have a license to do that, but he would find tenants for landlords in exchange for 1 month's rent. And he would then go put signs in the neighborhood and put ads on Craigslist and things like that. It's gotten a lot harder to do that now. But anyways, what I wanted to tell you was this. This guy didn't let anything hold him back. He didn't make any excuses. He just went to the library to get on a computer. He'd use a payphone to make phone calls. And he made enough phone calls until he started doing deals. And then within a few months, he was able to get an apartment. He went to Walmart and bought lawn furniture to put in the apartment. And then within, I think, 6 months or something, he had normal furniture and he bought a new car. Just because, you know what? You can make money or you can make excuses, but you can't make both. So you need to decide today, what do you want to do? Where are you at? I want to be on the side of making money. And if you want to make money in this business, you got to do the work. If you don't have the money to invest in marketing like a bunch of direct mail, just got to make some phone calls. Smile and dial, baby, right? Brent Daniels has the TTP method, talk to people. It's called the flap your lips method. Flap your lips. Talk to people. That's how you do deals. That's exactly what I would do to make a deal, do a deal in 30 days or less. All right, so listen, I appreciate y'all. Let's wrap this up. I hope you got some value out of this. If you're watching this on YouTube, I'd really appreciate it. Just give me a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel. Let me know. And if you what you thought of it, let me know if you want me to do more videos like this or what other videos you want me to do. And then what else was I going to say? There was something else I was going to say. I don't remember. But thank you guys so much. Appreciate you all. We'll see you. Bye-bye.